Boris Johnson has declared war on drugs. Well, kinda. I mean, in a sort of round. I mean, he's basically declared like a fracas. Not really a war, more of a fracas, and not really a fracas on drugs, just sort of a fracas on sort of certain drugs and a sort of certain type of drug. Basically, what he's done is he's decided to go after cocaine users. Not just cocaine users, like specifically sort of more sort of middle class, sort of city dwelling cocaine user types. So yeah, he's not going after sort of the big drug gangs. Or sort of the county lines gangs, county lines runners. Now I live in Ipswich actually, and we've within a mile of my house we've had 2 stabbings based around county lines drug dealing in the last year. One of them sadly resulted in a young man dying. But no, he's not so worried about that really. I think he's kind of worried more about Tarquin and his mates from the bank or the hedge fund firm that they work for, going out after work and having a couple of cheeky lines in the gents of some trendy wine bar. Yeah, I mean, it's a war on drugs of sorts. Not quite sure what the end goal is. I mean, I think in legal terms, to me, it strikes me a bit like saying, well, are we going to go after the people who hijack cars? People who steal cars, people who are speeding excessively on sort of residential streets. No, I don't think so. No, I think what we'll do is we'll stick a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit on an A road and then hide in the bush with a speed gun for a bit. It's much less effort, isn't it? Much more less effort and potentially more lucrative financially, So let's not go after the drug gangs, Let's not go after the people peddling hard drugs to youngsters or heroin dealers or whatever. Let's go after the people having a couple of lines after their after the hedge fund offices close on a Friday night. And also, actually, it's if I go back to my speeding analogy, it's quite easy to hide in a hedge with a speed gun. And actually, I think it'd be even easier to capitalise on Boris's war on drugs. I think what I'd do, if I was an undercover officer, I would treat myself to a few bottles of aftershave, maybe some mints, maybe a little spray of some description, and go and find a couple of bars where beer is more than £5 a pint and they only sell Peroni, and go and hide in the gents all night, asking people if they want a spray of some sort of perfume, and just wait to see they come out the cubicle sniffing and arrest them on the spot. There you go, shooting fish in a barrel. I've pretty much solved your drug problem for you, Boris. Now, obviously this is a little bit in jest, and I appreciate there is so many facets to the drug problem, and a lot of debate over the best way to address it. Do we go after the users? Do we go after the suppliers? Do we go after, do we legalise it? Do we regulate it? Do we tax it? How do we fix this? And I don't have all the answers, of course I don't. But I can't help but feel that if you do want to make more of an inroad into the drug problem here in the UK, maybe just going after a few sort of middle-class yuppies in trendy wine bars and their cocaine use is not necessarily going to solve the problem. It's basically all it's going to be is just another tax on the rich. It's going to be like a congestion charge, isn't it? The further you get towards, a bit like Sadiq Khan's congestion charge, the further you get towards the centre of the city, basically the higher amount of revenue you pay back to the government. In this case, rather than being a congestion charge or a what's it called, zero emission zone fee or whatever the bloody hell it's called, I don't know what it's called. It's just going to be a fine for fine for a line. Every time you have a line, you pay a fine, and it's going to generate a bit of revenue, but I can't see it really doing a lot of good in the long term. But never mind. At least there's nothing else going on in the world that we need to worry about, and Boris can focus our legal resources on the real problem of cocaine use. And of course, this isn't going to fix the problem, because all it will do is it will make it people become a little bit more secretive about their use of cocaine. At the moment, there's no secrecy about it at all. You see blokes walking out the gents, unrolling a £20 note and sticking it back in their wallet, or just walking out the gents going, and all it means is they might actually put that note back in their wallet before they walk out the cubicle door, or maybe they'll just keep it limited to one sniff per visit, maybe. Who knows? But either way, good luck, Boris. And yeah, I really think you cracked this one, mate. Stay safe, stay sane. Catch you on the next one.